Hello, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your quick news rundown. How are you? Today is Monday, July the 13th, 2020. All right, number one, since the occupant's first pardon in August 2017, he has granted 36 clemencies, who basically prominent political figures and people who have shown him loyalty. So on Friday, you guessed it, he commuted the sentence of his former campaign advisor, Roger Stone. Yeah, Robert Mueller penned an op-ed in the Washington Post that was published on Saturday about the occupants commuting Roger Stone's sentence of 40 months. But get this, say what? Lindsey Graham sided with the Dems on Sunday to allow former special counsel Robert Mueller to testify before the judiciary committee he chairs. This is the investigation into the occupants administration. Good morning, Brenda Randleman. So what I think about Lindsey Graham is that he must be looking at his reelection polls and thought, wow, my numbers are slipping or they're too close for comfort. So I'm going to go ahead and let former special counsel Robert Mueller testify. So that's interesting. Fox News, Tucker Carlson, top writer Blake Neff resigned after secretly posting racist and sexist and other offensive remarks in an online forum. That happened. Neff was employed with the Tucker Carlson tonight, for 4 years. So this is the kind of stuff, when I tell you all that I am arguing the case as the reason you must raise your voice and vote, here are the reasons. And then, have they or haven't they been audited? I thought this was interesting as well. Giuliani, as you know, is the occupant's personal attorney, I guess, said on Sunday that the occupants' tax returns have been audited. Very strange, because we know that's been the reason as to why they have not been seen by the public. He said, and I will quote, "All these tax returns have by and large, maybe not the last one, but all of them have been audited. All of them have either been passed or settled." Now, this quote contradicts both the occupant and his spokesperson. So again, my argument for voting, even if you think that your voice doesn't matter, which by the way, it does matter and it does count, but even if you think it doesn't, coming forward and voting, being registered to vote and vote makes a world of difference. So again, since August 2017, there's been at least 3 dozen of the occupants of the Oval Office, people who have been close to him. He has granted 3 dozen clemencies. So Roger Stone on Friday. None of us are surprised, but we need to get a handle on this, and that's why my argument is we must vote. Then we have Lindsey Graham who's saying, okay, maybe I need to hear from Robert Mueller. And what's the reasoning behind that? Then we have the coronavirus numbers. Wow, and some numbers we have. On Sunday, Florida reported 15,300 new cases, which breaks the U.S. record for a state in a single day. The last state to have held that record was New York on April the 4th with 12,274 cases. It is reported that COVID-19 is spreading across Florida faster than anywhere except for Arizona, and that came out of the Orlando Centennial. So, y'all, we have 3,411,239 cases in the U.S. That's recorded. Those are documented. Those are recorded. We have 137,773 deaths. And that number came from WHO's. I know there's like 3 different numbers for the U.S., but the WHO, which is the World Health Organization, seems to be on point with the numbers. So I pulled their numbers. And then we have recovered 515,889 recovered. So we do have in the U.S. over 1.5 million who've recovered. So that's great news. But if I can add two things here. Number one, stop with the COVID parties. Seriously, stop with the COVID parties. People are dying. After contact tracing, we are finding that they have been at that party. Stop with the COVID parties, y'all. This is real life. This is really happening. And that's why I'm a little disappointed. And over the weekend, you had the White House, the administration of the White House wanting to pick a fight with Dr. Fauci. This is not the time to pick a fight. This is not the time to pick a fight. Have Dr. Fauci been wrong? I don't know. I don't think anybody even understands what's happening right now with this COVID-19. But this is what I do know. We had the occupant of the Oval telling you to inject bleach. We have the occupant of the Oval saying that it's 99% harmless. We had the occupant of the Oval saying it would just disappear. So yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to follow Dr. Fauci, who is a scientist. But this is not the time to have this fight. This is not the time to have this fight. This is why we must vote. People, here are my reasons. What I come on here to do in a quick rundown is to connect the dots for our reasons to vote. So why vote? Well, let your voice be heard. Let your voice be heard. And again, even if you think your voice is not being heard, just try it and register anyway and vote anyway and see the outcome. But we must. To register to vote gives us an opportunity to have a voice in town hall meetings. Yes, we can go to a town hall meeting not being registered to vote, but people will listen to us if we voted. We have to start raising our voices and making sure that we vote. So this is what I'm challenging everyone who's viewing this and who will view this throughout the day or throughout the week. If you know somebody who has not been registered to vote, good morning, everyone. I see you jumping on. If you know of anyone who has not registered to vote, get them to vote. Get them to vote. Give them the argument as to why we must register to vote. Let's go back to Roger Stone just for a moment. He was indicted with 7 counts. Seven. There are people going to jail. There are people who are going to prison where we're not even sure that they did anything. But this dude even admitted to it. 7 counts. 7 counts. Why are we letting these people be free? Why? We should ask these kind of questions. And then we also, I don't want to insert race per se, but we also have to look at the race disparities. Systemic racism. Does this have a place here? We have to raise our voice. And then not only do we raise our voice, we need to hold those elected officials accountable. We need to hold them accountable. But we can't hold them accountable if we're not registered to vote. That's my argument to register to vote. We have until October the 5th, y'all. October the 5th to be able to vote in the November 3rd election, which is an extremely important election. Extremely important. So again, I'm begging all of you, find somebody this week. I'm sure you know someone this week who is not registered to vote. You may even know someone who has made this comment that they're not going to vote because they have the occupant and Joe Biden. Pick one. Pick one and let your voice be heard. All right, y'all. Shout out to Diane Ladybug Ivy. Today is her birthday. As you know, she's been following this, tuning in. She's been coming on here. She told us about her birthday. She's 57 today. So shout out for the win. For the win. I'm always looking for people to shout out for the win. So for the win today are all the employees of stores that have mandated people wear masks. We see you and we applaud you. We know that you are getting whole displays being knocked over a mask. We know that you have people who have been throwing things at you out of their cart when you tell them to wear a mask. We know that there have been people who have shoved you. So for the win, I just want to say to all the employees of all of these retail stores, establishments, restaurants, whomever you are, who have a mandate to wear masks and you're being treated like crap, I just want to say thank you for staying on the front line and doing what you do. So you're for the win today. You earn it. You deserve the win today. All right, so I had one quick question, then I'm off of here. One quick question was, what's up with the red table? I don't know. All I know, I watched that and I grieved behind that. I did. I looked at Will Smith's eyes. He's a grown man. He looked as if he's in so much pain. So we do have that. But I don't know. I don't know. If you have some thoughts to the red table, go ahead and put those in the comment section. Let me know. Let me know what this 5-minute rundown of news is doing. Does it help? Does it not help? Am I giving you stuff that you already know? Should I just focus on voting? Yes, I want to hear from you. I've gotten all your questions. I've gotten some very wonderful letters, notes, emails, inbox messages, DMs. I just want to make sure that I'm on track. I know I'm being led by God in this season to do this, so I'm sure it's going to continue. But I just want to make sure if I need to do any pivots. We are now in week number 6. Yeah, y'all, week number 6 of a quick rundown of news in motion. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who tune in to just hear. I've heard people say that you come on here and get the news and you go on about your day. One thing that I know is that when I watch the news, when I'm going through different news articles, I am finding that information we need is hidden in the broader story. Like they'll quickly just say something and skip over it. Those are the items I'm going after. Like, for example, with Roger Stone. Since August 2017, the occupant of the Oval has granted clemency to over 3 dozen people, political figureheads, people who he surrounds himself with. I listened to that Sunday when I heard Rudy Giuliani talk about, well, it's been audited. They've been settled. Well, what? We've heard differently, and how quick they skipped over that. That's the news that I go after. And I find the argument as to why we need to vote. People, we must vote. We must vote. We must have our voices heard. So even in the comment section today, if you are willing and ready and committed to speak to one person this week, just put in the comment section, I'm committed to do that this week, just this week. And don't forget, Friday is my question day. So you can start submitting your questions. If you submit questions, once I grab them, I will delete them so that we could talk about them on Friday. And also Friday is Turn Up, because on the 19th of July, I'll be turning 55. So on Friday the 17th, we're going to turn up. So come on here on Friday with your champagne glass of either a mimosa or orange juice. And then take a picture of you holding your mimosa and put it in the comment section. That's going to be my birthday party. All right, y'all, you have a great day. Oh, a quick word of inspiration today. Know what it is that God has called you to do in this season, and do it. And do what God has called you to do in this season. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. No weapon. So even if you feel that you're under attack, continue to do what God has called you to do in this season, because it matters, and we need you. We need you operating in your gifting in this season. All right, y'all? October the 5th. Y'all guessed it. October the 5th is the last day to register to vote, to be able to vote in the November 3rd election. I have heard that some dates have changed, some dates has been pushed back, but we're going to stick with October the 5th. October the 5th. And remember, this news is not just for Central Ohio where I reside, but it's for the United States of America. It's actually beyond the United States. There are people who are tuning in. It's probably late. People who are tuning in from London, from Zimbabwe, Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, from Israel, I made friends in Israel, from Herrenhut, Germany, from Berlin, Germany, from Belize, from Canada. There are people tuning in, and they understand that right now I'm dealing with the United States because of our election that's upcoming. All right, peace out. I'm Gail Dudley. Talk to you later.